All right, these are more problematic, and the reason that they're products. So what I want to do is I want to explicitly state that this is y equals x to the 6th power times e to the x. And I want to do the derivative of it. So y prime, well, I'm going to leave the first function alone, times the second function's derivative, which is e to the x, plus the first function's derivative, which is 6x5, times e to the x. All right, so I'm going to say that you can write that down. That's the first derivative. I'm going to factor it, though. All right, when I factor that, I'm not going to completely factor. I'll factor it into two easily differentiable factors, which is e to the x, and the other one I'm going to put down is x to the 6 plus 6x to the 5. However, if you really want to write down a factor form of that, what's it going to be? x5 would come out, and you get e to the x. You get x plus 6. I'm going to say that's a preferred answer. I'll write that down for you. x5, e to the x, and then x plus 6. However, this is the one I'm going to start to differentiate. All right, let me write down y double prime. So I'm going to say it's the first function, e to the x, times the derivative of the second function, which is 6x5, plus, that would be 30x4, plus the derivative of the first function, which is e to the x, times the second function, x to the 6, plus 6x5. All right? Now, again, it looks kind of nightmarish, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just factor out e to the x on that. All right? And I'll put that down for you. So it's e to the x. And then what do you get? We get 6x5. I see that here. And I get another 6x5 over there, which is 12x5. Then I get this 30x4. And then I get the x6. All right, I'm going to, a little bit work on it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor out x to the 4th power there. So I'm going to put x to the 4th. That's e to the x. That's going to be x squared. I just did this guy here. And then plus 12x. I see that guy over here. And then plus 30. All right? I'm going to say that's really the proper form of the second derivative. I'll write this over here. x4, e to the x, and then you get x squared plus 12x plus 30. Again, we'll check the key later. But I'm going to say to differentiate that, I'm going to, bring the x4 back in. So I'm going to say, if I'm going to differentiate, I prefer to differentiate this. And let's write that down. So y triple prime. What do you get? E to the x, the first function, times the derivative of the second function, which is 6x5, plus 60x4, plus 120x cubed, plus derivative of the first function, which is ex, and that's going to be x6, plus 12x5, plus 30x4. And granted, it looks nightmarish, but I'm going to pull out the e to the x. And what he left over there, well, let's be careful about it. I'm going to start to go in order now. It's x6. You see that right here. I'm going to do the x5 now, and that's going to be 18 of them. I'm going to do the x4 now. That's 60 and 30, which is 90 of them. And then the cubes ones with less one left over, 120 x cubed. All right, now someone says, what are you doing with that? Now I'm going to factor out x cubed then. So it's going to be x cubed, e to the x. What do you get there? X cubed plus, again, I factor out x cubed, so it's going to be x squared now. Then 90x plus 120. All right, this is the third derivative. All right, so I'm going to go back and maybe I should write that down over here. X cubed e to the x. And then you're left off with what? X cubed, x squared. Plus, again, I'm just writing it over, 90x plus 120. All right, so let's take a look at the key now and see how we did. all right? So looking at the key, this is A. I'm looking for something like that, all right? And the question is, do I see that? And, sort of. I do see the x, and x fifth times x is x6, and they get 6x5. So I'm good with that. Now, that's the first. Let me go to the second derivative, and I want to see if I'm seeing that guy over there. And you know what I'm saying? It looks like they put the x4 on the inside, and I did make a mistake, by the way. Oh, no, sorry, I didn't make a mistake. So let's see. I see x6, I see 12x5, and 30x4. This is good. All right, they're both good. Let me look at this guy over here, and that's the third derivative, right? So I'm looking at that. I do see the e to the x, and I pull the x cubed back in. You get x6. Oh, you know what? I made a mistake in copy. Let me correct that. You notice over here, I'll outline it for you. This says 18, and I made a mistake in that, and I didn't write that down. And I don't know how that happened, but it did happen. Let me get my eraser out. I'm not going to work the whole problem again, but I will correct that. That's 18x5. Since I factor out x cubed, that's 18x squared then. All right? Let me go back up here and correct that. Get my eraser out again. And that's going to be 18x squared. All right? Let me make sure of that. Yeah, I got that. So let's go back over it again. And I'm looking at the k. And again, they didn't factor out, or I should say I didn't do it because I'm right at the answer key. I see the 8, I see this. My red pen back. Because x cubed times x cubed is x6, and then I get 18x5. That worked out beautifully. I should get 90x4. That does work out beautifully, and 120x cubed. Things are going good. Thank you.